It's Kevin Keatsman Uncanceled on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
Happy birthday, America. One day early, or actually one day late. We'll revisit the history of July 1776. Briefly, it won't be a history lesson. It's going to be fun today as we celebrate America's independence, the 4th of July, and ask the question, are we doing it all over again? And what are the parallels between the Trump administration the last 6 months and our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson Adams, Ben Franklin, these boys, writing that big, beautiful first bill, the Declaration of Independence, and approving it on July 4th, 1776. We'll get into that. We've got the some commentary on the jobs numbers. I know Pete's been talking about it a little bit, but we've got a little bit of that as well. And really, one of the themes of the show today is going to be the difference between Democrats and Republicans, because they clearly don't care about the 4th of July at all. It's not their holiday. This comes on a day where the New York Times has a headline saying a symbol of unity may no longer unite us. And it's about the American flag. That is the New York Times story today on the eve of Independence Day. This is how they view the world differently. And yes, Republicans made mistakes by saying, we want to get this thing done tonight. They were saying like yesterday, we want to get it done tonight because we all want to fly home for the 4th of July long weekend tomorrow. So we've got this clown, Hakeem Jeffries, that is going to try to talk for 20 hours again and keep all the Republicans there, knowing full well it's going to pass. He's trying to ruin their Independence Day because he doesn't give two spits about Independence Day or the flag, nor do any of the Democrats that are going through their crappy, stupid theater stuff today. It is absolute rubbish and nonsense. I digress. At the end, we've got a great song about our flag. We'll share it with you. Mark's been working on it all morning, and we're looking forward to that as well. We'll start with a brief history here. As most of you know, it's Independence Day tomorrow, July 4th, 1776. 13 colonies broke off from Great Britain. Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Ben Franklin wrote and drafted the Declaration of Independence. And it was really a movement that happened very quickly. And I'm going to try to compare it a little bit to the last year or so of Donald Trump. It's been about a year since he got shot, I believe. He had previously been president. I think it was about last July, at some point close to the 4th of July, maybe after the 4th of July, where he got shot in Butler, Pennsylvania. And a lot changed that day, and people started feeling different. And Donald Trump has been very outspoken about speaking about patriotism. They're going to have a celebration of America tonight in Iowa at the State Fair. It's going to be unbelievable. It is the kickoff of what we're calling America 250, but we ought to really call it Trump's 250, because he's bringing patriotism back. And the beautiful part of bringing patriotism back is the underlying part. Beside the fact that Americans, no matter which party they're in, should love their country and be proud of it, the real undertone, the undercurrent that really works here is if you teach somebody to love their country and be patriotic, they are likely to vote for Republicans. All polling shows this. We have such a divide in this country now. We have a poll out there of young Democrats. This is the 18 to 49-year-old Democrat voters in the last election, that 8 years ago, that voter group for Democrats was plus 14 on its support for Israel versus Palestinians or Muslim terrorists. Today, 18 to 49-year-old Democrats in the last election are plus 57 pro-Palestine. That poll has moved 71 points in 8 years. They have become radicalized. A lot of this is through illegal immigration. We talk a lot about Spanish-speaking people coming across the southern border, but what's been happening with people from the Middle East, in Europe, and the United States has been devastating to our culture. It's difficult to understand this poll, how American citizens aged 18 to 49 8 years ago were pro-Israel by 14 points and are now pro-Palestinian by 57 points is the most astounding poll number I've ever seen. But as these courageous men nearly 250 years ago got together and wrote this, it was rather new. 2 years earlier, as the Revolutionary War was taking place, the idea of branching off was still considered radical. A crazy idea. Unthinkable, we can't do this. Let's just win these battles. And when we win these battles, we'll get what we want from Great Britain, but we'll still be a colony of Great Britain. Within 2 years, about a month out, June 7th, 1776, they start drafting the Declaration of Independence and say this thing is on. We have to get the signatures. We have to declare our independence, and we will keep fighting, and we will win, and we will form our own nation. And it's the greatest gift any of us have ever received from other humans. If it hadn't happened, I don't know I can't say what this country would be today. It would probably be 7 or 8 different nations. There'd probably be a French America, a Spanish America, a British America, Italian America. Everybody would have their own, essentially, state or province controlled by the country in Europe or elsewhere, a lot like the islands are in the Caribbean. Many of those are considered independent nations, but they're still basically, we have the U.S. Virgin Islands. There are territories. There would be an entire continent of countries like that. In my opinion, we probably would have seen over time that from Asia, the West would have been settled by people from there. I think this land would have been a hodgepodge of subsidiaries of what other countries around the world are. The fact that these brave men did what they did is the most remarkable story ever. And it didn't take them that long once they decided to do it. But boy, it took them a while to decide to do it. They didn't think it was a very good idea. They actually finished it on July 2nd, 1776. And to bring another tie to what's going on today with Trump and the politicians we're all frustrated with, it took 2 days to ratify it and adopt it. That sounds like what's going on in Congress today. This is going to take 2 days for them to do one simple vote of yes. And these things repeat themselves. And maybe the plan all along was to be able to talk about those things. But I think it's important that they didn't write it, they didn't finish it and sign it and say that's it. They went through the Continental Congress at that point, as it was called, and it took them 2 days to adopt it. So it was quite a fight for 2 days to declare independence. This was not really even forming a nation at that point. We're just declaring independence from you. We're done with you, Great Britain and King, and we're out of here. Immediately upon completion of this, John Adams wrote his wife and said this needs to be celebrated in every possible way. Music, dance, shouting, screaming, shooting your guns in the air. And they didn't call them pyrotechnics then. They had a different name for what were considered fireworks. But fireworks date all the way back to China in 800 AD. They had fireworks, and it was to be celebrated to, quote, light up the sky, Adams wrote. We need to do it from now, from this time, and forevermore, is what he wrote to his wife. And that's why we blow stuff up in the sky every year on the 4th of July. I love the 4th of July. You know that I love summer. You know all of these things, and this is going to be a great weekend. We're bringing patriotism back. You've heard all the economic numbers. You've seen the men and women of Whiteman do their thing in Iran. We've got peace breaking out in places. We've got NATO caving to the United States. We've got illegal aliens being sent home on a border that's closed. We have all things that these men in 1776 dreamed of, that we have watched one political party in this country over the last 30 years destroy and try to tear to the ground. And we need to bring it all back. And Donald Trump is not as heroic as Thomas Jefferson or John Adams for writing the Declaration of Independence. He's not. But he's a great American president. He is a hero. He will be remembered well. He's not going to save this country forever. But when these things happen, when we go through a transformation that we're experiencing and will experience over the next 4 years, it will last at least 30 years. It will last at least a generation. He's creating young voters for the party that loves America, that loves the Constitution, that loves the 4th of July, that loves our history and does not apologize for it, that knows America is great because our people are good. It's a simple concept. Good people do great things, and we've got 330 million of them if we just get together and pull in the same direction. It's going to be fun. There was one footnote to this 4th of July that's different than any other, and it is the silliness that sometimes things we do in this country for the 4th of July. Nothing's more silly than a hot dog eating contest. But it's Americana 2025, and Joey Chestnut will be there, and a young man from Shawnee named Cameron Mead will be competing against Joey Jaws. This guy apparently went to Indiana University, came home, swallowed some hot dogs at some local contest, and they said, well, he's pretty good. Get this. His parents started coaching him. Now, those are some parents that love their kid. He went to his parents after graduating college, said, I want to learn how to be a speed eater. And so he works out every day, and burns 500 calories and takes in only 1,000 every day that he doesn't speed eat. He's going to this contest. He's hoping he can do 50 or more. He clearly can't beat Joey Chestnut. But we have a local competitor in the 4th of July hot dog eating contest. His name is Cameron Mead, and he's from Shawnee. That will be on the 4th of July at 11 a.m. on ESPN2. It is amazing. The 4th of July is here. God bless America. Hey, welcome back to the show. Happy Independence Day, everyone. Hope you're having a great day today and doing something fun with family or friends this weekend. Be safe. Have a great time. Enjoy everything that is great about America. But remember this. Remember, you feel better today. You feel a lot better. You're a lot more upbeat. You got a lot more bounce in your step. But you love America the same as you did a year ago. And 2 years ago. And 3 years ago. Let's not be them. You love your country when it's good. You love it when it's bad. It's okay to have a little bigger smile and have more of a bounce in your step. That is good. John in Topeka is up first today. Good morning, John. You are on Uncanceled. How are you today?
Doing really good. Well, a bad day in America is better than a great day anywhere else in the world. I'll tell you that.
Probably right.
And, I absolutely love the 4th of July. I mean, I told my boss a long time ago when I first got hired on, I said, I have to have the 4th of July off. And he said, why? I said, because I can move Christmas, I can move Thanksgiving, I can move my birthday, New Year's Day, who cares? But the 4th of July is the 4th of July. And the fact is that you go out and celebrate with, loud explosions and fireworks and displays and such. But if you close your eyes and just think it for a moment, that's the sound of battle that many millions of men fought to give us the freedoms that we can go out that day and have steak and hot dogs and shoot fireworks off freely and have fun and make memories with our family. That's the most important part about the 4th of July for me, is that remembering what those guys did for us so we could have that day to celebrate. And may your fireworks be loud and bright. May your memories be awesome that you make with your family, and may you keep all your fingers this 4th of July.
Thank you, buddy. Great call, John. You have a great holiday, okay?
You too. Bye.
That's just outstanding. Love that. Here is Mark in Shawnee on KCMO Talk Radio. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Kevin. I guess there's a couple things I wanted to say. I love the 4th of July. When my wife was here, I just look forward to it every year. That's my struggle now without her, trying to figure that out. But I got to tell you something. The point that I really really irritated about is I think we had a figurehead running this country, and Joe the Clown Biden. And all these other people were making decisions for our country. They want to do the same thing with Trump. Now we have these judges coming in. They're going to decide what's best for our country. The sick thing about this is the fact that we have people that say they don't love this country. I have a suggestion. Let's give these people an opportunity this is a great opportunity to give up their citizenship. We will give them $2,000 to move to their country of their choice. I will quit making donations to the Republican Party, and I would gladly give up these funds to help people find their dream. And I think we should do it.
I'm with you. I love your passion. Always love your passion. I'd be all for that. The offer stands for illegal aliens. We're paying them to leave. And some are taking it up and some are not, but I'm pretty much with you. I don't think the people that hate America hate it as much as they say. They mostly are trying to get control and win elections. I honestly believe that. If they hated it we all know people that said, if Trump wins, I'm moving to Canada or New Zealand or Europe. Well, a few people did, but not really. They didn't all move, and they never were going to, because they know how good it is here. They just can't say it because they won't be accepted in their circle of friends if they say America's great. Here's Jerry in Olathe. Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
Kevin, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Well, listen, this is one of those off-the-wall things. A number of years ago, my daughter-in-law gave me a book called The Federalist Papers. Have you ever read The Federalist Papers?
Yeah, but it's been a while, buddy. It's been a while.
As you know, it's a great description. It's a breakdown article of the Constitution. I'd love for you to have somebody on from time to time. There was the Constitutionalist that explains various articles of that. Because certainly the kids growing up have no idea what the Federalist Papers are or what they were meant to do.
Well, they're going to, because we're changing with the Department of Education what the curriculum is going to be in schools across the country. I absolutely believe by the end of this Trump presidency, there will be a dramatic shift in what is taught in schools that are funded by our federal government.
God, I hope so. I mean that sincerely. It's something that our future generations just need to cherish. That's all. It's a cherished document. Anyway, that was it. Happy 4th of July, and keep all your fingers, brother, okay?
You're awesome, Jerry. I'm pretty bad. I'm the guy that is more than willing to buy all the fireworks and invite somebody who really wants to light them. I'm that guy. And I got a couple friends that just think that's the perfect marriage. Great. Keats is going to buy these things, and I just give him the Bic lighter thing, or what do they call the long stick lighter, and then go. We like those big, safe cases with 48 shots in them that are heavy and don't fly anywhere, and they're grounded, and put them on a flat surface and go to town. Those are the ones we like. We don't go for like a whole bunch of little things all the time, and just a couple, 3 big things at dark, and we're good to go. It'll be perfect. Stephen in KCK is on KCMO Talk Radio. Hi, Stephen.
Happy Independence Day, Kevin.
You too, buddy.
To kind of expound on your point that you were making in your monologue, the restoration of the Ronald Reagan set of values, by this president, it may have unintended consequences that we don't even know about. If you go back in history, William Wallace, if you watch the movie Braveheart, William Wallace didn't really get Scottish independence. It was the guys after him. Right now, I think Marco Rubio's doing an absolutely incredible job. I didn't know this guy had it in him, all the things that he's doing right now. I saw it yesterday on the Vince show. They said that J.D. Vance is trailing Kamala Harris in the poll, which I don't know if that's right in a head-to-head matchup. But I tell you what, I think we're going to have superstars that we've never even heard of, or maybe like a Rubio or somebody who are just become incredible leaders as a result of all this stuff that is happening right now.
No doubt. But if you're talking about the next presidential race, one thing's pretty clear. Whoever Trump endorses will win the nomination. That's clear. Yeah. So we know that. The question is, will he endorse anybody in the primary, or is he just going to let people go fight for it? And I don't know what he's going to do. And that's the cart before the horse. That's way down the road. Let's get these years. Let's get our country back on track. Let's get where we're going. And when all this works, there is no Kamala Harris or any Democrat that's going to come in and stop it. We've proven time and time again in this country, when this country is thriving, when Reagan went 8 years, it was an easy call for America to say, we're sticking with this. This works. We're going this direction. I have more money. I have a better job. We're safer. Everything's better. And if that's what the Trump presidency is, the Republican will win.
I tell you what, this is just a shot in the dark, but they're proposing Laura Trump for Senate in North Carolina. And I tell you what, I just get vibes from her. I think she could be the first female president. I don't know why. Sometimes I get these feelings. She probably should have been subbed into Florida, but I kind of watch her on Fox, and she seems to be put together.
I hate to go there, but it's a little creepy hearing you talk about your feelings for Lara Trump. I'm just going to say
it. not feelings in those ways.
Oh, really? Because it sure sounded like you had those.
Political feelings.
Okay. All right. I'll stop you right there. Happy 4th of July, brother.
Take care.
All right. Little creepy there. She wins slam dunk in North Carolina if she does it. She has been very concerned about her safety and security. There were some threats on her, and, as you go through this process, it's not for everyone. Everybody in Trump's circle has been threatened.
Bill O'Reilly called it on Pete's show the other day that she would run and win in North Carolina.
Yeah, she'll win if she runs. Again, she's got to make sure that she's got kids, that this is the route she wants to go. She's literally a billionaire or part of a billionaire family, and you want to risk your life over that? Senators are not protected like the president of the United States or the vice president. They are not. She would absolutely be a target, and it's an unseemly thing to talk about, but it's absolutely true and something she'd have to calculate. All right, we come back. Why North Kansas City is the best choice for the Kansas City Royals, and I don't think it's close. That and a very cool song about the flag coming up on Uncanceled. Hard to tell what's more embarrassing, Hakeem Jeffries standing there talking about nothing and taking long pauses for hours and hours, or the Democrats behind him who have to sit there and make it look like the place is packed because the shot of the camera zoomed in on him and there's about 6 or 7 people right behind him, and they have to try to look interested, but they're not. They literally will start to nod off, or they'll share things on their phones and they're not paying attention. This is an embarrassment for our country. This man and what they're doing, a total embarrassment. He's trying to ruin the day of the Republicans, and it's It's just so stupid that they do stuff like this on that side. So we will celebrate the good things in this country and let you know that the first time we celebrated Independence Day as a federal holiday was not until 1870. And Trump tonight will be at the Iowa State Fair kicking off America 250, which we will absolutely not celebrate, but recognize over the next year with all kinds of events leading up to the 4th of July next year, 250 years of the United States. This is going to be great. The Iowa State Fair, you may think the food items there, like if you think you see crazy stuff at a sporting event, state fairs are notorious for inventing some of the weird things you see at sporting events. You think Iowa, you think corn, and certainly they have popcorn and all kinds of kettle corn and different kinds of corn dishes and corn products and corn dogs and everything corn at the Iowa State Fair. Their two most popular items, I don't know which I'd go for first, but apparently the hog farmers in Iowa are a big, big, big deal because they got the two most popular items. Pork chop on a stick, which, we're just trying to save the earth. You don't need any utensils.
They're very impressive. I've been to the Iowa State Fair a few times, and I have not eaten that, but it looks impressive.
Is it grilled or is it fried? Do you know?
Fried.
Okay, so it's like a pork loin on a stick, and you dip it in something?
Whatever you want. Or
barbecue
just eat it
sauce,
plain, yeah.
Mayonnaise, mustard, things like that too? Or
if you want. I see a lot of people just eating it plain.
it's like a pork tenderloin on a stick. Yeah, okay. I that's easier than a regular pork chop, which probably people lose their teeth on those. And then the bacon-wrapped Twinkie.
That's kind of a new one, I think.
Yeah. We've heard of deep-fried Twinkies. I'm wondering if the bacon-wrapped Twinkie is flash fried so the bacon's crunchy around it.
I need to try it. I'm actually going this year. I want to try that one.
The Royals serve deep-fried Twinkies at Surprise Stadium at spring training, and I've never had one. I can't bring myself to do it. I don't know. You just take a Twinkie and you drop it in the fryer. It doesn't sound like that. It doesn't sound like that works for me. We did spend, as Pete mentioned on his show, some time yesterday with some anonymous sources in North Kansas City. I can tell you they were from the business community. They were from politics. They were from security backgrounds, things of that nature. There was expertise in the room, I guess is what I'm saying. And they have a well-thought-out plan that they can fund and a means to do it because North Kansas City is less than 200,000 people in population, and they have found a little-known statute in Missouri that the state kicks in money for downtown or redevelopment of towns less than 200,000 people where the average income is a certain amount or less. And they qualify for that money too. They've found a lot of sources of money. They will likely need a vote in November for a sales tax in Clay County that would also get kicked into the coffers. That location is absolutely perfect. There is 100 acres of land. It is a neighborhood. Let's stop talking about downtown baseball, and as we've heard John Sherman say, talk about density. You can build your ballpark at 119th and Knoll if you want, and a lot of people are around you, but there's really no neighborhood there. Oh, sure, there's subdivisions with some Rod Rock signs in front of them, and they've got a community pool out there on the busy part of the neighborhood, and you can wind back to your cul-de-sac and live in your house. There are people that live there. When I'm talking about neighborhoods, I'm talking about classic American urban areas, and they're usually adjacent to the downtown commerce centers. They're not where the big tall skyscrapers are, where all the people in banking and law and finance work. It's not there. It's usually either several blocks away, or in this case, something that originated in 1912. There's a big sign in North Kansas City that says, "Welcome to North Kansas City," founded in 1912. And originally it had to do with cattle and the way the streets are. They angle by the river. I don't know the history of all this, but it's all there. So you're talking about literally something that was built and has been a neighborhood since 1912. It is as old school gets. It feels like baseball, and there's no baseball there. It doesn't exist. They're building apartments and new buildings all over the place. We toured one that is about as high-end and fancy of an apartment complex and building as you've ever seen, with a rooftop pool that you might as well have thought you were in Vegas. It's cool. You lay at the pool and you view across the river to the Kansas City skyline. It's really cool. That pool I was at yesterday was only, 9 or 10 stories up. A ballpark would be a lot higher than that. The views would be spectacular. There is open land everywhere right there adjacent to it all. If you know where Chappell's is one of the iconic locations in Kansas City. A lot of people think downtown North Kansas City and think of chapels. My parents, when I was a kid, went to a place called the Gold Buffet, which was there, and Foster Brooks and Jerry Lewis and people like that would come to Kansas City and do their shows there. And they had this big buffet. It was a very famous thing for many, many years. There were a lot of cool things in North Kansas City. As a kid growing up in Mission, my dentist was in North Kansas City. My dentist is still at North Kansas City. It's North Kansas City Dental. He's the guy that is all over Cumulus Media. He does DJ Kirby's dance party over on 94.9 every Saturday night. He's the sponsor of that thing. He's a great Cumulus Media sponsor, and I've been going to him for years. There's all kinds of cool businesses there, unique restaurants, local things, and a feel that this is older. This is what baseball used to feel like. It's community. They're not tearing that stuff down. There's a spot for a ballpark. They may take some warehouse buildings down that are south of where the ballpark would be. There's 100 acres of land, and some of that is warehousing, it's shipping, it's trucking, it's things like that can be easily relocated. Those companies have that. I'm not sure why you would want to drive your big trucks through there anyway, and that's why that's a shipping area and trucking area in today's day and age. I would think that's exactly the kind of thing that's better suited to be on the interstate somewhere out near the burbs. We know those locations. We all have them. They're all over Kansas City because there's so much shipping and trucking now. But a lot of that would stay, but it would be available for development. If somebody wanted to come in, buy the property, build condominiums, you'd be able to do that. There's already a built-in neighborhood feel to that area that I really, really like. And maybe I'm biased. Maybe I've been going there since I was a kid when I went to the dentist there. Maybe I know my parents spent all that time at the Gold Buffet whenever. My mom's favorite was Foster Brooks. I don't even know if anybody listening knows who Foster Brooks was. He was a guy that did a comedy show as a drunk guy, and he's hysterical, or was. Not sure. I don't think any of the people they saw are alive anymore. My mom's outliving everyone. That's just the way it's going to be. Sorry for everybody else's bad luck. My mom's outliving everyone. So it's just a great feeling area. And we walked around yesterday. I got there early and drove around for 30 minutes. And I noticed new developments, new areas, new businesses, and new apartments and places to live several blocks away to the north. If I came from the Kansas side, I could go around 435. I could go that way and go through like Riverside, take I-70 and go up through Riverside, or I can go I-35 to 635. You go completely around downtown. You don't have to drive through downtown to get to that ballpark. And I think there was a lot of worry on behalf of the Royals that, what about our Kansas fans? They don't want to drive through downtown at 5:30 on a Thursday night in rush hour traffic and try to cross these bridges. I get that. You'd be coming in from the west and slightly to the north. It's only about a mile to the north. Where that I don't know the name of that highway that goes by the like Argosy Casino, and is it 45 or I don't know which one it is. But you take 635 right to there. You cut out where Argosy Casino is, and you're a couple miles away, and you're there. And it's all big, wide 4-lane roads. There's a lot to like there. It's got better accessibility than Overland Park. It's got better accessibility than Washington Square Park. Now I don't know about the Washington Square project and the view. The view Washington Square could be outstanding. That ballpark, you could have the Western Auto Lofts in right center field. If you're on the right field line, you could see downtown, but it really isn't that much closer to downtown than right across the river. I just think downtown creates, if you go to Washington Square Park, you're jammed in, you've got the hospital there, you've got a couple of hotels, you have Crown Center. It's not really a neighborhood feel. You're also, I'm just going to say it because I'm this guy. You are really, really close to some really dangerous gang-filled neighborhoods. Very close. We saw that at the Chiefs Parade. Literally where that shooting was, and there were 4 different shootings that day, and they were all under 18 in some way gang-related around the Chiefs Parade. Now think of the Royals in that spot 81 times a year, because that's where it would be, right by there. North Kansas City is as safe as 119th and all. Okay? Washington Square Park we recognize is not as safe. These are all things for the Royals to consider. But the plan is on the table, and it looks like it's very smart, and it looks like it will work, and it's my job to pass those things along to you. If anybody from Washington Square wants to share their plans and try to sway us another way, or in Overland Park, whatever, we're more than happy to listen. I think the teams want these folks to keep it quiet, but there are a lot of options out there. The Royals aren't dead yet on this thing, and I'll just say, and I'm probably going to say this over the next few weeks or months, I'm about to become a cheerleader. I like the North Kansas City location for the Royals. I like the Legends for the Chiefs. I'm done with the Truman Sports Complex. I know that's not popular with a lot of people in this town. I've said a million things on the radio that are not popular. It's time to us forget about it. There is no development there. There will be no development there. It's dead. The Truman Sports Complex is dead. For what today's sports and entertainment options are, it doesn't work. It will never work, or they would have already done it. It's dead. Forget about it. New stadium, North Kansas City for the Royals. New stadium for the Chiefs at the Legends. My 2 cents worth. We're coming back. We'll chat with Mark, and I've got an unbelievable song about the flag that you got to hear on Uncanceled. All right, we're back. Coming up, I've got an unbelievable song about the flag. Some of you may know it. It actually aired before the Super Bowl when the Chiefs beat the Eagles a couple of years ago in Super Bowl 57. Pretty cool stuff. Mark Van Sickle looking forward to the big weekend with his family. What do you got planned for the 4th of July, buddy?
Oh, man, I think we're going to celebrate today and tomorrow.
Oh, really?
We're going to make a big weekend out of it. So I think at Blue Hawk in South Overland Park, there's some big thing tonight. So I think we're going to go watch that. And then tomorrow night, we're kind of trying to decide between Olathe and Overland Park. There's 2 big fireworks shows there. So one or the other, but we're going to have 2 celebrations.
You have your own parking spot at the Overland Park place.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say to my wife. I'm like, I got the scan card. I can get into the bathroom here, you know.
Yes.
It's easy for me.
It's all right. You could park right 20 feet from the door of this building and watch the fireworks, can't you?
I like that idea.
It's been years since I've seen the Corporate Wood fireworks. We may do it.
It's always good.
Because I think I can get in there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Although I still don't have a business card from this place to show like a guard or somebody. I'll just have to show him my key. So, yeah, it's okay. That's okay. So it's going to be fun. And that's what you do. Fireworks, all the girls like fireworks. That's a big deal.
Yeah, they like the fireworks. The youngest one has not seen the fireworks yet.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see if she likes them or not. But we'll bring the little headphones.
How's your little dog do with the fireworks?
The dogs, as long as they're in the kennel underneath the blankets, they're fine.
They're good.
Yeah.
I heard yesterday a couple of the guys we were with said Lee's Summit is maybe doing fireworks tonight as well.
Okay.
I think tonight is a great night for fireworks. Because people go all day on the 4th of July, and it's harder to get out maybe afterwards. We talked about this all week. Our guy Bobby Witt Jr. is not starting the All-Star game from the Kansas City Royals. It has been learned Jacob Wilson of the A's will. He is a 23-year-old rookie batting .340. But we're not convinced that he's a better player than Bobby Witt, correct?
No, not at all.
How does this happen? The A's are playing in a AAA ballpark. They don't have fans. If this is a fan vote, how did this happen?
I think it's just the .340 batting average. Like, that just kind of pops out to people. Bobby had the big batting average last year, but, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of because Bobby Witt leads in all these other categories.
It bothers me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Bobby, I feel like his average needs to be over 300 or something, but he's tried to. I feel like Bobby Witt Jr. has had to try too hard this year. That it's gone so poorly for the team scoring runs that he's just been trying really hard.
If he gets a hit tonight, he'll break the Royals' record for longest road hitting streak, which would be 22 games.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They lost again last night. It should be he had 2 hits and 2 walks, and they lost. That's not a good night. This guy from Shawnee is going to be in the hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July, Mark. How many hot dogs could you eat in 10 minutes?
I would say I could probably do 1 a minute. I would go 10 hot dogs.
You could, okay. So to me, getting them down is one thing, but like eating them, like you're too full and wanting to stop and barf or something would be another, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's tough. I say I could get 10 and I could probably only get like 6.
Would your parents have said if you came home, you're 21 years old and say, I want to be a professional eater, I need you to coach me?
They probably would have laughed.
Apparently the parents have videotaped him and they put it up like game film showing what you did right, what you did wrong, how you're supposed to dip it in the water, the whole thing. It's insane.
That's fun.
Is Joey Jaws, is that what they call the guy?
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut?
Mm-hmm.
He's done 70. And I think this guy, Cameron Mead from Shawnee, has done as many as 40 on video.
I'll cheer for him to get top 3. I know he's not going to win it all, but I'll cheer for him to get top 3.
He's not going to win it. It must pay down a little bit. There must be some money to be made in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. And I forget the name of the guy, but the real entertainment is the MC. And he actually owns the contest.
Okay.
He's a promoter. And he's like an old school boxing promoter. You know who I'm talking about. And he's great on a microphone.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
His introductions, they should have him do like MMA and everything else. So we'll have a fantastic weekend with your family, Mark.
Thank you.
You're the best. Happy 4th of July to everyone. And we're going to finish with a song here that played before the Chiefs' Super Bowl win against the Eagles in Super Bowl 57. It was on Fox Sports about 45 minutes before kickoff. They changed the entire pregame into a red, white, and blue celebration, essentially. It was about America. And they brought a choir in behind Johnny Cash, who has a favorite song about that ragged flag. And it is about the flag and how cool it is. And this is the great Johnny Cash and a choir singing about the Missouri, Shenandoah and the Missouri River. And you'll hear all of it. It is a fantastic salute to America and a great way to end Uncanceled today on KCMO Talk Radio. You're going to love this. Enjoy.
I walked through a county courthouse square. On a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, "Your old courthouse is kind of run down." He said, "No, it'll do for our little town." I said, "Your old flagpole has leaned a little bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat." And I sat down. "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" I said, "I think it is." He said, "I don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a little hole in that flag there when Washington took it across the Delaware. And it got powder burned the night that Francis Scott Key said, watching it write and say, 'Can you see?' And it got a bad rip in New Orleans, with Pakenham and Jackson tugging at its seams. And it almost fell at the Alamo beside the Texas flag, but she waved on though. She got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville, and she got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg, and the south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low a time or two. She was in Korea, Vietnam. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. She waved from our ships upon the briny foam, and now they've about quit waving her back here at home. In her own good land here, she's been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, refused. And the government for which she stands is scandalized throughout the land. And she's getting threadbare and she's wearing thin, but she's in good shape for the shape she's in. 'Cause she's been through the fire before, and I believe she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, we take her down every night, we don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her upright. On second thought, I do like to brag, 'cause I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag.